There's a moment that almost no one talks about. It's not when you buy your first luxury item. It's not when you get a raise. And it's definitely not when you hit six figures. It's quieter than that. It's the moment you open your bank app, and instead of immediately closing it out of stress, you pause, you breathe. Because for the first time, you realize something feels different. You've saved $5,000. Not borrowed, not invested in something risky, not tied up in something you can't touch. Just sitting there. And suddenly, life doesn't hit the same way it used to. Today, we're breaking down why saving your first $5,000 changes everything. Not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and even socially. And if you're still on your way there, this video might completely change how you see that number. Why $5,000 is a psychological milestone. Most people underestimate $5,000. They think, yeah, that's nice, but it's not life-changing. But here's the truth. Money doesn't change your life all at once. It changes your nervous system first. Before $5,000, your brain is constantly on edge. Every unexpected expense feels like a threat. Every bill feels personal. Every delay in income creates panic. You're not relaxed, you're surviving. But when you hit $5,000, something flips. Because your brain finally understands one thing. I'm not one problem away from disaster anymore. That realization alone is powerful. This is why so many people say, after $5,000, I slept better. Not because they were rich, but because they finally had margin. The end of constant money panic. Before $5,000, money controls your emotions. Your mood depends on your bank balance. Your stress spikes at the end of every month. Your happiness feels temporary because it's always waiting for the next expense. That's what living paycheck to paycheck really means. It's not just about income. It's about mental pressure. But once you save $5,000, panic stops being your default response. Car needs repairs? You don't spiral. Unexpected bill? You don't freeze. You still care, but you don't crumble. And this is important. When panic leaves, clarity enters. You stop reacting emotionally and start thinking logically. And logical thinking is where good financial decisions are made. The confidence nobody can see. Here's something subtle but real. After saving $5,000, people carry themselves differently. They speak differently. They hesitate less. They second-guess themselves less. Why? Because confidence isn't loud. It's quiet security. You don't need to tell anyone your bank balance, but people feel the difference when you're not desperate. You're no longer saying yes to everything out of fear. You're no longer tolerating bad situations because you can't afford to leave. And that changes how you show up at work, in relationships, and in life. Why decisions get easier. When you're broke, every decision feels heavy. Should I buy this? Can I afford that? What if something goes wrong? Your brain is overloaded. But once you hit $5,000, decision fatigue drops. Not because money stops mattering, but because your foundation is stable. You can think long-term instead of short-term. You can delay gratification without fear. You can say no without guilt. And this is where wealth actually starts. The shift from survival to strategy. Here's the line most people cross without realizing it. Before $5,000, survival mode. After $5,000, strategy mode. In survival mode, your goal is simple. Get through the month. In strategy mode, you start asking better questions. How can I grow this? How can I protect this? How can I use this to create options? This is when investing starts to make sense. This is when budgeting becomes empowering instead of restrictive. This is when goals stop feeling like fantasies, because now you have leverage. Why $5,000 beats a high salary. Here's a hard truth. A high income without savings is fragile. Someone making $100,000 a year with no emergency fund is more stressed than someone with $5,000 saved and a modest income. Why? Because income is a stream. Savings is a shield. and shields protect you when things go wrong. That's why $5,000 feels powerful, even if your income hasn't changed at all.
The emotional freedom no one expects. Most people think money only buys things, but $5,000 doesn't buy luxury. It buys emotional space. It buys fewer arguments, fewer sleepless nights, fewer panic decisions, fewer "I'm stuck" moments, and emotionally, that's priceless. This is why people say, "I didn't feel rich, but I felt free." Why most people never get there. Here's the sad part. Most people never save $5,000. Not because they can't, but because they give up too early. They stop at $1,000. They stop after one setback. They stop when progress feels slow. But $5,000 rewards consistency, not perfection. And once you hit it, momentum kicks in. Saving the next $5,000 is easier than the first, because now you believe in yourself. The identity shift. Saving $5,000 doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who's bad with money. You stop saying, "I'll never be good at saving." You stop assuming wealth is for other people. Instead, a new thought appears. If I did this, what else can I do? That's dangerous in the best way, because identity drives behavior, and behavior creates outcomes. What $5,000 really represents. $5,000 isn't the goal. It's proof. Proof that you can delay gratification. You can stay disciplined. You can follow through. You can build something from nothing. And once you prove that to yourself, money stops being mysterious. It becomes a tool. If you're not there yet, important. If you're watching this and thinking, "I'm not even close," listen carefully. Everyone who has $5,000 once had $500, and before that, $50. The difference isn't talent, it's persistence. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a boring one you can stick to. Consistency beats intensity every time. The real win isn't the number. It's the moment you realize you're in control. And once you feel that, you'll never want to go back. If this video helped shift how you think about money, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this message matters. Subscribe if you're building wealth step by step, not overnight. And comment below, what number would make you feel financially calm for the first time? I'll see you in the next one.